So if you got lost or you're not feeling good about where you're at, you can go ahead and just start from L10 or lesson 10. And duplicate that. I'm going to just keep building off of this report that I'm on. I'm going to go to my white space and I'm going to create this visual. So I'm going to start at the top and go to the bottom. So this is going to be a line chart. So go ahead and choose that visual. It looks like two little lines going across the page. Just choose the line chart visual. And then we're going to define it. So as we go down, what we want to do is say, okay, what goes across the bottom? What's my x-axis and what's my y-axis? It's going to be a trend chart, so I want my months to go across the bottom. So we're just going to navigate. This x-axis is going to be our periods or our months. So I'm going to go to the calendar table. And this time I'm going to take that period description short and put it in the period, or put it in the x-axis. So I'm going to have Jan, Feb, Mar, right? Instead of January, February, March, or 1, 2, 3. We'll give it, again, more context for the number. Then what is it that I want to see? This one is going to be on net income. So we're going to go down to our fact table or our primary table, which was GL balances detail. And in our account measures, we're going to find the net income. And I'm going to find that net income actual amount selected. And I'm just going to bring that over to the y-axis. You get one little dot in there, which is perfect. Now, if I want to see that in comparison to something like the prior year, then we're going to put that in here under the secondary y-axis. Or you could put it on the y-axis as well. It just puts them on the same number here. Okay. So if I was doing a percentage, maybe I want those. Am I going to see a secondary axis with secondary numbers over here, or do I want those in the same view? So you can choose if you want a secondary axis or the same. But I said I wanted a trend. I want to see all 12 months. I don't just want to see one. So how do we make this work? We are going to have to do what they call edit the interactions. So what you're going to do is come up here on the top, and there's a little icon right kind of in the center of your icons up on the top right menu. And if you do the drop down, it says edit interaction. So it's a square with like a smaller square inside it. And then you're going to choose the option to edit the interactions. But before we do this, we have to give it some focus or some context. So how are we going to do it? What is driving this visual to only show December? It is this slicer up here for period. So if I chose period 7, then I would see July. If I choose period 9, I'm going to see September. So this slicer here is automatically filtering all visuals down to show what period I've selected, and it's showing the year-to-date amount. But in the trend chart, I want to see all 12 months. So I don't want this slicer to affect this visual. So in order to do that, we do what they call edit interactions. So focus on your period slicer. So just click in there on a period. I'm going to choose period 12 again. I get focus. Now let's go to edit interactions. So go on the menu to the top and choose that little double square and then turn edit interactions on just by clicking on it. Or I'm sorry, clicking on the on off. Now you'll notice all your visuals have two little icons in the top right corner. One says whatever you're focused on is going to filter that visual. The other one is a Ghostbuster sign. It says, no, break the relationship, right? So we're going to go ahead and on our trend chart, we're going to click the little Ghostbuster sign or the none option. And now you will see all 12 months going across the bottom. So again, the steps to do that were we selected the slicer, what was limiting our data. Then we said edit the interactions, edit how this one that I have selected is interacting with the other visuals on the page. Then I went to the visual where it was interacting. I said none. I don't want you to interact with this one anymore. Putting up the stop sign. Once you're done, you can come back in here and go back to your menu and go edit interactions and turn it off. That will take all those little icons away. And now we have our trend chart. So let's go ahead and clean this up just a little bit. Let's clean up the title. So I'm going to go to the format section. I'm going to go to general on the title. And I'm just going to call this net income trend analysis. And then another thing I like to do on my trend analysis is I actually like little breaks or points in that line so I can see where they jump. So I'm going to go to the visual option here. And I'm going to go down where it says data labels, or I'm sorry, markers. See the markers? I'm going to turn that on. And now I can see where you have like your little breakpoints. I want to change this. I could go to month to date if I'd like. So I can see monthly, where am I up, where am I down on my net income? So what happened in February? Right? January, March look really good. February, what happened there? So, and in my current year, it went way up, so that's good. Maybe I don't really care, but we dropped last year. We had a significant drop. This year we had a great height. So it just helps you to see those outliers in your data, right? But when you're looking at this kind of a year-to-date number, you see that they both trend up, which is, they're directionally correct. We like where they're going. But monthly, what's happening? Perfect. Excellent, guys. I hope you guys have had a good time. You've built out this analysis report. We kind of have that first look of our data. But now, what else can we do with this? So we're gonna take this to the next level as we look at the data. And we want to look at what are some other things we can do within Power BI to kind of help our users or to empower our users as they're building their reports to get the data or the information that they need. So we've got kind of this Power BI report. Hopefully you guys felt like that was pretty easy once you kind of understood the navigation, you understand the data that you're working with a little bit. Again, that data model is really important because as you're pulling that data in, you want to have those measures or those amounts already built into the model for you, so you can just quickly click on them to compare two values side by side. So really that's where we see a lot of that advantage of using a pre-built data model like you get with Quick Launch over pulling in data from like just a raw spreadsheet. You'd have to start building those out on your own as you're doing that.